Dear learners, you are welcome to my virtual class. Hope all of you are well by the mercy of Almighty Allah. I am also well by the mercy of Him. Today, I'll give you an interesting lesson on completing sentence. This is my second class. In this class, I want to discuss some important rules and a number of proverbs. Dear learners, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. This is Muhammad Abu Said, Assistant Teacher English, Sitakund, Girls High School, Sitakund, Chattogram. Dear learners, our today's topic is completing sentence part 2. Dear learners, this is rule 3. These rules started with differently. Dear learners, you are looking 3 structures, but all the structures are expressing same meaning. So first structure, you are looking no sooner had, and last part of this structure started with then plus subject plus first form plus extension. And second one, hardly or scarcely had, and last portion has been started with when or before plus subject plus first form plus extension. And last one has been started with as soon as, and last portion of the sentence will be started with subject plus first form or was where plus extension. Dear learners, I would like to make you understand these structures through some examples. Example A, no sooner had I reached home. Actually, this example started with no sooner. So if any sentence starts with no sooner, the last portion will be made by following the rules then plus subject plus first form. So if you write then plus the rain as a subject plus started as a first form, the sentence will be completed meaningfully. So no sooner had I reached home than the rain started. That means I have reached my home before the rain started. The second one, hardly had the assembly begun. Hardly had the assembly begun in my school actually, or in a school. When you can write the last portion, and we have to write the last portion by using when or before plus subject plus first form. Okay, so when I reached school, if you write when I reached school, the sentence will be completed meaningfully. Hardly had the assembly begun when I reached school. Number C, scarcely had I reached the station. So if any sentence started with hardly or scarcely, the last portion will be formed by using when or before plus subject plus first form. So the train left the place. When the train left the place, actually the train is related with a station. So scarcely had I reached the station when the train left the place. That means I didn't catch the train, or I didn't get into the train. So as soon as I got up from bed. So if any sentence starts with as soon as, the last portion will be started with subject plus first form, or subject plus was where plus extension. It was 8 a.m. actually. Why it was? Because first portion has been started with as soon as plus subject plus first form. So last portion you have to use first tense. So it was 8 a.m. So if you write it was 8 a.m., the sentence will be completed meaningfully. I think you have clearly understand this. So I'm going to discuss the next rule, rule 4. Dear learners, you are looking present indefinite plus as if or as though. For your better understanding, you are given a Bengali meaning as if or as though plus first indefinite or subject plus where plus extension. You cannot write was instead of where. So if any sentence started with present indefinite before as if or as though, the last portion will be started with first by following first indefinite or subject plus where. I would like to make it clear through some example. Dear learners, you are looking some examples. First example, he talks as if. So last portion will be started with first indefinite or subject plus where plus extension. So if you write he knew everything, the sentence will be completed meaningfully. So read again. He talks as if he knew everything. So last portion has been started with following first indefinite. He as a subject and knew is first form, everything is complement. So he knew everything. Second one, the lady speaks as though. The lady speaks or talks. The lady speaks as though she knew everything. She for the lady, knew is first form and everything is object. So she knew everything. So the sentence has been made following first indefinite tense, and the sentence giving us a clear conception. So he pretends as if, he pretends as if he were a maid. So dear learners, if you want, you can write here he knew everything or he were a maid. That means he pretends such a madman. He pretends as if he were a maid. Number D, we love and help one another as though we were friends or we were relatives or friends or brothers. So we love and help one another as though or as if we were friends. I think you have clearly understood this discussion. Dear learners, now I am going to discuss rule 5. First indefinite plus as if or as though plus first perfect or subject plus had been plus extension. That means the first portion first indefinite and the last portion first perfect or subject plus had been plus extension. I would like to make it clear through some examples. Dear learners, you are looking for examples. Example A, he talked as if. Here he talked is past tense. So before as if you see first tense or subject plus first form, the sentence is called or the portion is called first indefinite. So the last portion will be made by following first perfect tense or subject plus had been plus extension. So if you write he had known everything or nothing, the sentence will be completed meaningfully. You can read again. He talked as if he had known everything or nothing. The lady spoke. The lady spoke is first form, so this is first tense. The lady spoke as though she had known everything. So if you write she had known everything, the sentence will be clearly or meaningfully completed. Number C, he pretended as if. He pretended as if, pretended is first form, so he had been a mad. That means he pretended like a madman. So he pretended as if he had been a mad. The sentence has been made meaningfully. We laughed and helped one another. We laughed and helped one another. Think, dear learners. You can take 1 minute. Think first of all. We laughed and helped one another. Why? As though we have a relation actually. So we had been friends. We laughed and helped one another as though we had been friends, or we had been brothers, or we had been relatives. you can write. I think you have clearly understood this structure and its usage. Dear learners, I would like to discuss some important proverbs which are very essential and effective. First example or first proverb, all that glitters is not gold. What's the meaning of this sentence, or what's the meaning of this proverb? So for your better understanding, you are given Bengali meaning. So I would like to advise you to learn and memorize these proverbs. Second one, strike the iron while it is hot. The Bengali meaning is, okay. Number 3, what is slotted cannot be blotted. Dear learners, you will be given in the exam the first portion or last portion of a proverb. So you have to complete from your point of view. So you have to memorize these proverbs. These proverbs are very important. Number 4, what cannot be cured must be endured. Number 5, the wearer knows where the shoe pinches. I think you have clearly understood. For your better understanding, I would like to advise you, you must watch the class again and again, so not to get waste your time. You must take preparation for your coming exam. So dear learners, no more today. See you in the next class. Stay well. Allah Hafiz.